Hey, everybody, it's Josh. First of all, thanks so much for listening. If you've listened to our podcast before, you know what I'm about to say, but Jack and I recorded a handful of these episodes before we started releasing them and have since decided to change the name. So while we might reference the title of the old podcast or the old title of the podcast throughout the episode, I have been able to go back and retroactively re-record the beginnings, which I'm doing now. And if the audio sounds a little off once we start, that's the reason, is because I'm recording this in two separate sittings. So thanks again. Without further ado, welcome to The Long List, a podcast where we celebrate movies and other pop culture through the storied art of rankings. There are no wrong answers, there are no bad opinions, and hot takes are always encouraged. I'm Josh Muller. This week I'm joined by my brother Jack Muller, and this episode is all about Pixar. Jack, would you consider yourself more of a Buzz or a Woody?
I'm going Woody.
Gross.
Damn it. The setup.
Pixar, Jack.
Yes.
I guess we'll start here. Do you remember when, like, the phenomenon of Toy Story hit?
I do not.
You don't? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I was 4 or whatever.
Yeah, it came out in 95.
But
yeah,
reflecting on this made me realize that I don't have, like, a whole lot of little kid, like, animated, like, kid Disney movie memory from early on. Like, I don't remember Toy Story. I was literally thinking, is Titanic the first movie I remember seeing? I mean, that was what, 98?
Yeah.
So I was
97.
97, so I was 6.
I'm sure it's not the first, but, like,
I literally don't think I could tell you. Like, I'm guessing I saw Pixar. I mean, I'm guessing I saw Toy Story. I know I saw Lion King.
Yeah.
But I don't remember those.
And to your point, I mean, the kind of heyday of Disney animation happened a little bit before you were born, or either before you were born or like
right.
when you
when
were
I was like
baby.
a little kid, yeah.
And from there on out, henceforth, you were watching movies kind of the ones that I was watching, and I was
right.
I'm 5.5 years older than you.
Yeah.
So
plus a lot of like my big ones were like the Harry Potters coming out or something,
right.
or like the early Spider-Mans.
Right. Not necessarily animated movies.
Not like, yeah.
We definitely saw the animated movies, but yeah, I get what you. I guess.
I remember seeing Finding Nemo with you.
I don't remember that.
Really?
No.
Damn. Pardon.
We saw it together? Just
Yes,
us?
Just you and me.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Like during the day.
Where?
The Century Bayfair.
That came out when I was in college? Oh, Bayfair.
Came out in 2007.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you were definitely in college. I don't know why we saw it.
Probably because it's awesome.
No. That came out in like 2003.
I don't remember. Don't have it in my notes. Bad job.
2003.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, interesting. That's kind of what, because I do remember Toy Story hitting.
Yeah.
I was young.
Right.
But I had a relationship
yeah.
with, Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and, all of those movies.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Aladdin. And then even, you mentioned already Lion King. Those are all kind of like that's what I kind of consider the heyday.
Yeah, 100%.
Of classic animation from when I was a kid. And this was different. It was definitely, we knew it was coming. We knew it was going to be different. Didn't know if it was going to hit. And it was like, it went off like a rocket. It was
Do
like,
you remember, like, did you know what was going on with it?
It's tough to actually go back into that frame of mind and remember exactly if I knew the implications of it, because then everything was different after that. And I've kind of grown up with Toy Story in my life. But I was 10. So I remember this looks different. Right. And I loved it. And it was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why I feel like maybe because we had it on VHS. I don't know why I feel like maybe our VHS had like a little like intro thing where you got to see people like doing the computer animation. Cause I feel like I like grew up like with an image of them doing the the computer animation on like a computer and being like, whoa, that's crazy to see it like that. But
Yeah, maybe we
or
just
like the ball or like the
ball.
the star ball that's that
Oh,
becomes
yeah,
kind of
like the
a
early kind of like demos of what they were trying to do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where we would have had that. I mean, we also had
We
it on
just, like,
DVD
watched.
at some point too, so maybe it was like a special
Did we?
feature. But yeah, I do remember it. I mean, it changed the game. We're gonna get into it, but things are not different from animation after that.
Yeah.
So what does Pixar mean to you? What does it mean to you as a kid? What does it mean to you now?
It was always exciting how exclusive it was.
Yeah.
Even though, which I have this in my notes, it wasn't that exclusive because I think there are literally 6 years since 1995 that we didn't get Pixar movies.
Right. But they felt like events.
Yeah, they felt like events. They felt like it was going to be something different from the get-go. That kind of waned after a while, I want to say.
Yes.
But at the time, it was like, ooh, what's this next one going to be?
And I feel like we knew what the new movies were going to be, like 3 or 4 movies out. And we could be, I didn't really have an intimate knowledge of it, but I knew, they were going to be making a Cars movie. Didn't know what it meant, but I knew that. I knew, there's going to be something with a rat,
Well, and it was always like world building. It would be like very conceptual. You got the Toys movie. And that's how they designed it. Before they even started, they were like, we're going to do a Toys movie. We're going to do a robot movie. We're going to do a bug movie. And
they had these plans. I mean, they're really long processes to make these movies because of all the animation. And then you got to get the right stars and you got to get the right voice acting. But that all happens later. But I do remember knowing, at least on some basic level, that there was a slate that they were talking about. These are what we're going to do for the next handful of movies.
Interesting.
And kind of being able to get excited for it, not knowing at all what the end product would look like. Mm-hmm. But they kind of, with Toy Story, it hit like a bang. And Bug's Life was good. That was their second one. I mean, it was still really cool. I mean, hasn't lived up like the other ones have, but...
Love Bug's Life.
Well, yeah, me too. But I guess my point is they immediately got us. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. They immediately got me and then didn't let go for the first 2 or 3 movies. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm going to watch every one. And,
you know that they're going to be good. They're probably going to be well written. I think the writing is one of their biggest
totally agree
things. They invest into their writing.
And at that point, they were going to do something totally original and different.
Right.
Now, eventually, they started going down the sequel rabbit hole a little bit, but at that point, it was like, what can they think up of next?
And we weren't that young, but we were already old enough to be kind of like done with kids movies. You
were younger than I was.
Well, I'm talking about from when I remember. I mean, like,
I guess
2003, 12-year-old kid, like, doesn't need to see a bunch of Disney movies anymore. But it's now exciting because Pixar is very geared for adults as well.
Yeah.
And I was ready for that, by the time that the good ones, or a lot of them, were coming out.
And when Toy Story hit, I was kind of, I think I said I was 10, maybe 9. And I, still kind of into animation, but that kept my interest in animation going longer. I was like, wow, this is sick. This is different. It doesn't totally, it is a kid's movie, but like you said, feels a little bit more mature. Clearly not just trying to play to kids, and they got me hooked. And I think I've seen, almost every one at this point.
Yeah.
Now I have kids, so I'm watching them for different reasons, but
I wonder if you didn't have kids, if you'd be more in my boat, where I definitely fell off towards the end. Oh, yeah, a little bit.
This is also, I have this question coming up later. Do you think the movies got worse, or do you think we got older and stopped caring about them as much?
I think they became more like a regular movie studio and started making just more movies. I don't think that they got worse necessarily. I just think that they now not every movie that they come out with is like this great, masterwork of cinema.
Right. Super innovative. Right. We have never seen
now
anything like it before.
They can only do so much,
Well, with that kind of attitude.
I know. I'm kind of giving them
We'll get into it. All right. Well, so here's, if you've listened to a couple of our podcasts, what we usually do is we warm up a little bit and then we do a big deep dive. We're going to do a deep dive this time too, but it's not going to be as much of a historical dive into the history because I just don't think we need it. I just don't think it's as interesting. We don't need to go over as much. So we'll be doing a little bit more of comprehensive discussions and more top fives. And you mentioned last week that we should probably preview the top fives that we got coming up. So I'm not going to give exactly the ones, but we're going to hit funniest moments, tearjerker moments. We're going to do some characters. We're going to hit music a little bit. And then obviously we got the big top fives later. But what I wanted to open up with, since this is the start of the podcast, I'd like to do our top 5 beginnings or openings to Pixar movies. They can be sequences, they can be set pieces and or quick scenes, or however you want to take it. Who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay. Give me your top 5 Pixar openings.
All right. Starting at number 5, I got Cars.
Oh.
This is probably the only moment in which Cars is going to show up. Anyway.
Oh,
but
shots fired.
Sorry, shots
Drive
fired.
by on Cars.
Rough. But I do got to give it kind of cred. Starts off with a little monologue from Lightning McQueen. It's like it cuts to black.
Yeah.
And like it's cutting between like a black and then speed. And the
movie.
sound is don't get you started on Speed.
It's so good.
It has great sound and it gets you all started. And then you got the flashy, like the garage door opening up. And the nice Lightning McQueen. I don't know.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Get you juiced for what's coming next.
Number 4, I got Toy Story.
Okay.
Could obviously see this one higher, but I got a couple big ones up there.
Yeah.
But this one is, the intro to your most classic Pixar film.
It's the intro to Pixar, and it's great. And
I could see this scene, extending like 15 minutes because you got just what's the goddamn kid's name? Andy playing with his characters. The song dropping for the first time. You got the cloud wallpaper.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And then it keeps going and keeps going until Buzz shows up, and
yeah.
Then you got the whole Buzz intro.
Love the little army men.
You got the army men. You got you get their whole like that they're this like meticulous, like planned out, like they've been doing it every day for as toys have. Like they got the radios. They got I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
they're doing board meetings.
It's like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it's great.
Very good intro. Number 3, I got Up. Obviously, Up got nominated for Best Picture.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was. I think and I should have confirmed this. I believe it was the first year of 10, and so I think they were like, "Oh, it's the first year of 10.
I'll look.
We're
going
to throw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Pixar one in there because every year we want the Pixar one to be in there, but we can't.
So it came out in 2009. That would have been the 2010 Oscars, and I think they switched. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, because 2008 was Dark Knight, and that was the big one that like. We should have nominated this. Let's bump it up to 10.
What about 2009? Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's what you're saying. It came out in 2009. So
okay.
I guess I always get confused because whenever you look up Oscar nominations, it's the next year. Yeah. They should just be like, this was the year from 2009. So no, you're right. You're right.
Anyways, not my favorite Pixar movie at all. Definitely drops off. But obviously the first 15 minutes of the flashback are infamous for hitting the heartstrings and being it's like a short film basically that you get beforehand that like wrecks you emotionally.
You got
hot takes.
I got hot takes.
Okay.
I guess I'll save it.
You'll save
it. Spoiler alert,
honestly,
that did not make my top 5 beginnings.
Right. Okay.
That's right.
What about tearjerker?
It did not.
Wow. Okay, moving on.
I guess I should just do it now.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not like it's not sad, but like the guy had a great life. We see his whole life. He gets to live his whole life with the love of his life, and then she dies. I'm sorry, they old. Were old. They had a good run.
Yeah, nobody's saying that there's any sort of special thing here.
I'm just saying that
death is pretty sad.
It is,
even
but
if you do have a good life.
all I'm saying is,
If you had a bad life
everyone
and
makes
she
it out
died,
to
it
be
wouldn't
this
have been-
humongous thing, and it's so heart wrenching, and it's so oh my god, I'm so
jeez.
sad.
Heartless
Man, they
Joe
had a
Jackson.
good run. We should all be so lucky.
Man, well, jeez.
It's not. It just doesn't hit me as hard. I mean, I should probably.
Do we do our first break now? I don't know if I can.
I'm just saying, it's like I get it. It's fine. It's good. It's good filmmaking.
It's great
It's very.
filmmaking.
It's a
That's
little
like the best
manipulative.
part. It's a little manipulative. Is it? Do you think that though, because of the rest of the movie isn't that good?
Sure, that's probably playing into it.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie is fine, and I get it. But it's just like the way people wax poetic about that scene. It's like I get it. They had a good run. I think we should be happy. It's happy and celebrating. Anyway.
Well, okay.
I'm heartless.
I guess to your point, he does get a little bummed out. I think maybe that, like, he gets all down, like.
And let's be perfectly clear. If Becky dies before me, I will be.
I wasn't going to go down this road.
I will not even be a shell of the positivity that he was. I'll be a wreck, and I'll burn the house down, and it's going to be terrible. But,
burn down or lift it off
lift
the
it
ground using balloons. Also, shouts out to the Oakland house that Kaiser built around and started the lawsuit that this is based off of. Basically, Kaiser
I didn't know that.
like leveled a bunch of houses, and this one house fought back, and then there was literally Kaiser built around one single house.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good point to mention that we live in the Bay Area. Pixar started in the Bay Area, or at least got its fame in the Bay Area.
Yes, it started in the Bay Area.
Well, I had to, the origins conflict with my notes, but I mean the Pixar that we know started in the Bay Area, and so
And
that's
their
always
headquarters
been
are
kind
in
of
Emeryville,
yeah,
which is Oakland.
close to where we live, or at least grew up, and that's always been sort of another little thing. They do like a little. Actually, it's an Up. They do a little thing out in front of Fenton's, which is cool. Which is Swiss milk chocolate, my favorite ice cream.
They do the Oakland Cranes and Wally.
Yeah, good point. So that's always kind of have a little, special little place in my heart.
Definitely.
All right, I'm sorry I interrupted your list because
It's fine.
Up is not
I guess
that tight.
Up isn't that good of a choice for my number 3.
No, I think
number-
it's the good choice. I just think, when people see my list, they're gonna be like, "How did you not fucking put
2.
Up?" Okay, number 2.
Number 2, I got Finding Nemo. Another heart wrencher, but also you include the first day of school in the next. It's you got the opening scene, but then you got the really good happy scene following that makes up for it, and you really don't. Like, I was rewatching it, and I was just like, wow, they really start on a pretty gnarly note here.
Yeah,
and it
pretty
gets over
quickly.
it
Pretty quickly.
You don't really hang on
they switch the
mom
pace.
dying. And number 1, I have Wall-E. Another one in which it's really the first half hour of that movie is absolutely incredible and unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to even call it, like, knock it off if I was to do opening scene, but it just doesn't stop. And that's great. And I love when you are like, this is like the best beginning of a movie, and the beginning never feels like it ends.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of The Departed, in which
very common relation to Wall-E.
Exactly, but The Departed, intro or the title log happening 18 minutes into the movie is just one of the coolest things ever. Sorry,
that's sick too.
Very similar to Wall-E.
Yeah, I might have some more hot takes about Wall-E too,
Yeah,
but
I figured
not
you
with
would.
this list.
You're wrong, but I figured
fair
you would.
enough. My list has a couple of repeats. I'll quickly go through it. Monsters Inc. I love the little opening scare,
the opening
and then the
scare.
way they deliver the exposition in a way that makes sense is really smart. They have someone teaching class, and then you find out all about the rules of the world.
Yep.
Then there's like a news reel. It's on TV, a news story. What am I looking for? And you find out that they're actually losing power in the world. So it's just like the way they do it is really
good
smart
exposition.
and setting it up
Yeah.
without someone
That was
just telling you.
on my long list.
Yeah, I have Inside Out, Riley's Birth, and then all
another
the
good one.
and all the emotions sort of coming to life.
Yeah.
I also had Toy Story at number 3. Don't need to revisit, and I had Wall-E at number 2. Fantastic. All the same reasons you said. It's like a silent movie to start, and it's really, really great. And the way that movie starts is fantastic. I don't necessarily love the second half of that movie, but
It's got to turn into a Pixar movie eventually.
yeah, we can get there when we get there. And then number one, you could probably go number two or number three. I went Toy Story 2 as the opening, where it's like a Buzz Lightyear action movie to start, and he's flying around all the space. Is that number three?
No, I was about to say,
Because it turns into a video game at the end.
I was about to say,
that
isn't
Rex
that number
is
three?
playing.
No, but number three is, and I almost did this one. Number three is the Woody opening.
Right.
Where
Yeah,
it's
and
like the
they're
train
both
sequence.
great. They're both fantastic.
Shouts out to our Western podcast, Train Sequence and Toy Story.
True, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so I mean, they're kind of just a couple of really awesome action sequences, and then they turn into a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
So, do you not remember the Toy Story 2
Yeah,
one?
the aliens are in it, right?
Yeah,
The
they're
little green
aliens,
men.
and he's like flying through, and then he eventually battles Zurg, and there's like a really cool space travel scene. It's just really cool. And
Nice.
then it turns out that
That's your number one?
that's my number one, dude.
Damn.
Gets me fired up. I want to watch that movie.
fucking-
Actually, then they made that movie and it sucked. Did you see Lightyear?
No, I didn't see it.
It's not that good.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so bad job by them. Whatever.
Shame on you.
So Toy Story changed the game. We talked about that. Pixar kind of immediately grabbed a hold of the steering wheel of like computer animation. Hasn't really let it go, in my opinion. Maybe loosening the grip a little bit as other studios come in. There's been some
You mean like story-wise or like success-wise?
I mean, like popular culture zeitgeist wise.
Okay.
Like, there's probably movies that aren't Pixar movies that people think are Pixar because it's kind of the name brand.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't I have this coming later. I don't necessarily think they're at the cutting edge of computer animation movies anymore, but they do still hold the name brand, I guess is my point. Other contenders, DreamWorks did some really great stuff. Illumination, I don't really have a lot of experience with that. That's like the Despicable Me.
Despicable Me is not DreamWorks. That's crazy.
Maybe Illumination is a subset of DreamWorks, but no, it's Illumination. There's been non-Pixar Disney movies like Moana, like Encanto. My kids love both of those movies. And then recently, Sony Animation has stepped up the game, man. So I do still think Pixar is king in that they hold the biggest slice of the pie of the zeitgeist, I guess you could call it. Why do you think that is? What do you think that Pixar does that has kind of been able to appeal to so many? You've hit on a couple things already that I think are pertinent to this conversation.
Yeah, I think subtly appealing to adults
Yeah.
in a more abstract way in which you don't even like kind of like realize that it's happening.
Right.
When it's happening. I think it used to be exclusivity. I think their world building is incredible.
Incredible.
I think they're kind of losing it because of the sequels thing, because it was always about what world is going to be next and things like that. And now it's like, oh, we're going back to that.
And I don't think they're not going to. I think that's going to continue because Inside Out 2 was the highest grossing movie of last year.
Right. And
it's fine. It's not bad, but I wish they would kind of.
And slated up next is Toy Story 5 and Coco 2.
Yeah.
And Incredibles 3, I believe. I think are the three next ones. Which, I mean, sometimes they do that. They tell us that they're releasing a sequel and then they release other ones in between.
Right.
But
like something like Coco, like that story ended. It was great. I don't know where they go with the sequel, and I don't know why they need one. Toy Story, I mean, whatever. We can talk about it. Incredibles, I kind of feel like those can be viewed as almost like episodic. Like even though I'm not asking for another sequel, I get it.
Right.
But throwing on something like Coco or even Inside Out, those stories finished. We're good. I don't necessarily need another one.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then earlier you touched on the writing. I think the writing is really good.
Yep.
And
multiple best screenplay nominations.
Yeah, really good, really funny, really heartwarming,
I don't know
really
about
good
any
stuff.
wins.
Huh?
I said I don't know about any wins.
I don't think so.
I don't think any wins for their screenplays, but certainly at least 3 nominations for screenplay.
Yeah, and starting off with Toy Story.
Yeah, right out the gate.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Finding Nemo and Wall-E both got nominated.
I wonder if Up did. I mean, he got nominated for Best Picture, like you said. All right, well, you mentioned how it's kind of geared towards both kids and adults at the same time. They somehow toe that line really, really well. So what are I don't know if did you make a list for this? I have top 5 Pixar moments for adults. If you didn't, that's fine, and I'll just run through mine.
Hit me.
All right, here we go. I love it when Mr. Potato Head takes the lips off of his mouth and puts it on his ass. I think it's when someone's saying something nice about Woody and he's saying he's a kiss ass. Yeah. So funny.
Yeah. I love that all the toys just like make fun of Woody for a while, even though he's the boss for a while. As soon as Buzz comes in, they're all just like,
actually, this guy's cool. Yeah. We're gonna hang out with him now.
It's like Woody's
so great.
And
Mr. Potato, definitely the flag bearer on that. He's coming up in future lists for me.
Nice.
I love it when Buzz's wings pop out when he's talking to Jesse. Clear, innuendo there. That's pretty funny. Love it when Lightning McQueen gets flashed by 2 cars with the headlights. Yeah. Hello. And then the last 2 are both from Coco. The Everyone Loves Juanita song that Hector sings to, I guess his name is Chicharito, the guy that's dying and he's going to go for his last death. And he's like, sing me that song that you always sing to me. And he has to change the lyrics because he's singing it in front of from Miguel. Yeah. And he's like, hey, it's not the lyrics. He's like, hey, man, there's kids present. That's really funny. And then the other one is Hector dies choking on chorizo, a sausage. Not going to sneak that by me, Pixar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not appropriate.
That's a pretty big one.
That's a pretty big. And then they're all going like, chorizo, which is funny. And we've also worked in some kitchens with some Spanish-speaking fellows, and they make jokes such as this quite often.
Yeah. Salchicha.
Yeah. So not going to sneak that by me, Pixar. Did Pixar computer animation render traditional animation obsolete, Jack?
I think Pixar writing rendered other animation obsolete. I think Pixar doing their stories made other things stop. I was always confused why they didn't just kind of do the same thing with, do really good stories with traditional animation. Of course, there are a couple of them. Like Princess and the Frog came out after. I always think that Moana, I forget that Moana isn't traditional animation.
Nor is it Pixar.
Right, exactly. It's Disney computer animation.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, I just think they kind of just fell off after that because they were better at making movies. Yeah,
to your point, there are some good ones, but yeah, I mean, I do think the spectacle is fun, but to your point, the writing and the storytelling takes the cake.
Yeah.
Like, I think that almost universally throughout all of moviedom. Yeah. If you don't have a good story, you don't have a good movie. It's as simple as that. So that's it. Good answer, Jack.
Thank you.
Yes. I have next is, do we want to talk about other animated movies that are computer animated movies that are not Pixar? Because I made a list. Or do we want to save that for like a future podcast?
I mean, I kind of want to hear your list, but
do you think that's enough for a future podcast? Because I don't want to bury the lead if we're going to do it later.
Well, I don't know if we'll do like DreamWorks top 5 specifically, but we might have another animation.
All right, I'll give you my list.
Let me hear it.
All right, I got to pull it up here. I put it on the other document. All right,
Disney included?
Huh?
Disney included?
Well, I didn't put any Disney movies on here.
Okay.
And looking at the list, I don't think I would switch any of them out. Like Disney
Moana is not on this list?
It is not. Neither is Encanto, which my kids love. It's not my favorite. And I think Tangled is another one. Didn't put it on there. I actually like Tangled a lot.
More than Moana?
No. Moana's good, but
okay.
These are all.
Let me hear the 5 then.
These are all better. Okay, so this one's recent for me. Becky picked it on her movie night, and I was like, I don't watch this fucking movie. It's lame. I had not heard anything about it. It was so funny. It is called Mitchell's versus the Machines. It's really funny. Oh, anyway, I got ranked. Huh?
When did that come out?
I don't know, like 21. I
Never
think
seen
20. It's. I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I slept on it.
All right.
I was laughing the whole time.
All right.
Really, really funny. Love Rango. We talked about it in the Western podcast, so I'm gonna skip it. Kung Fu Panda. We saw that together. It was awesome.
So good.
I think we saw it in New York.
We saw it in New York. We've seen 2 movies in New York together, both at the same theater, both in 2 different trips. Can you tell me what the other movie is?
Of course I can.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Batman
You were
Begins.
yeah, it was Batman Begins.
I think that was our second time seeing it.
It was our second time seeing it.
But we were on a vacation with our parents. They always, not always, when we were kids, they would often like, all right, you guys are on your own. We're going out to dinner.
Yeah.
And when we were younger, they would just leave us in the hotel room and rent us a movie and get us some room service. But at that point, we were old enough to let us bum around the city.
We just went and got pizza.
Yeah,
went to this super epic movie theater.
Yeah.
Huge
and
glass.
Kung Fu Panda, I don't remember if I didn't want to see it or didn't care.
We
I don't
were
know.
like,
I don't think we had
I
anything.
literally remember seeing a movie poster in a theater for Kung Fu Panda being like, they're just fucking doing anything now. This is so stupid. Like, really, Kung Fu Panda?
But we didn't have anything else to go see, so we saw it, and it blew it.
Talk about opening scenes.
Oh, man. Yeah. Opening scene
That
was
would be
crazy.
that would take the cake on this list for sure.
And then I
And
remember
we were
the
just
scene,
I remember us looking at each other after the opening scene, being like, "Holy shit, what are we watching right
and
now?"
then the scene where Oogway died and he like fades away into glowing
God.
flower petals.
Most beautiful music ever. It's just like,
yeah, the score is
what
incredible.
this?
And I was like, what?
Or the part
we
where
watching
he's
the
like
best
on
movie ever?
where Master Shifu's like on top of the thing, and then he's like shows him the history of kung fu, and you like get a quick montage of the history of kung
Yeah,
fu.
super
All right.
good. And like didn't see it coming. Didn't think it was going to
How is this number 3 on this
Well,
list?
because I'll tell you, I have How to Train Your Dragon as number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie. Similarly, like I did not want to go see another animated movie, and 3 or 4 of my friends were like, "You got to go see this movie." I was like,
Really?
"I get it." Yeah, I remember one of them was Chris McCarthy. He was like, "It's great. You'll love it." I was like, "I don't want to. I don't fucking care. I don't want to go see it." So finally, he convinced me to go see it. I think I saw it with Becky. And I remember, similarly to the Oogway scene, there's a scene where he first rides a dragon and he's like flying underneath the archway, the stone archways above the ocean, and he's just like figuring it out. And the music is incredible. Don't know who does the music. Didn't look it up. It's just amazing. And I was just like, this is kind of why I go to the movies,
Right.
to be surprised by things that I didn't think were good, and it just totally took me away. And number 1 is both 1 and 2 of Spider-Verse. You can take your pick.
Oh,
I don't care. They're incredible.
I got you.
I'll never sleep on that again. So good.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Thank you.
No Shrek.
I thought about it. I haven't seen it in a while.
It's Shrek.
I thought about it.
What was your number 5?
Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Yeah, bump it for sure.
No way, dude. You don't know.
Over Shrek. Shrek's like the funniest movie ever.
You're the uninitiated. It's really funny.
True. I'm no one to.
Speaking of funny, we're just doing lists this
All right,
episode.
let's go.
Top 5 funniest Pixar moments. I've kind of been isolating and had the ball in my hands for a long time.
Was really hard, and for me, I don't know. There's just so much to pick from.
Yeah.
And like the funniest Pixar. Okay, I'm gonna preface. The funniest Pixar moments are the ones that you kind of don't remember. And
Yeah, I agree.
And you're rewatching, and you're like, oh my god, or the really subtlest little thing that we wouldn't even be able to put into words, like
Right.
a look on someone's face or something like that.
And when like you do
Pity.
research for when you do research for stuff like this, and you're like, what's the funniest Pixar movies? All the choices are wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like it was hard. And having said that, I used a couple of the choices I found.
I know, me too. Well,
Well, because it's hard to think of.
I more think that a couple things happened in lists that I saw, and I had them on my list, and
Yeah.
was like, okay, that
Right.
solidifies it for me.
All right, hit me with your list.
No, you go first.
I've had been talking for like an hour and a half. All right, I'll go quickly. I have a feeling this is going to make your list, and if it didn't, then you're going to wish that it did, because you used to say this all the time. But in Monsters, Inc., they do the little...
God damn it.
You wish you would have gone first? Yeah. The put that thing back where you came from little... little impromptu musical thing. You've been doing that for years, and I thought it was hilarious.
Man,
really
love put that thing back where you could. That's my number one. Spoiler.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's really funny. I have Spanish Buzz in Toy Story 3. Hilarious. Good bit. I have anything Mr. Potato Head says. It's voiced by Don Rickles, the great Don Rickles, and I want to see the cut where he's just swearing and ripping on everybody even more. It's just, it's really funny. Anything he says is hilarious. I have Jack gets his powers in Incredibles 2.
Ooh,
The whole thing where Mr. Incredible
that's
is losing
probably
sleep.
the best scene in that movie.
He fights the raccoon.
Yeah.
It's really good. The whole bit's funny. And then I also, from Incredibles 1, have Where Is My Super Suit? Which did make a lot of the lists. But Samuel L., I guess I should say Frozone, is looking for his super suit that he hasn't used in years, and his wife is like, we're going out to dinner. I was like, I got to get it for the greater good. I'm the greatest good you're ever going to know. Oh my God, it's so funny. That's really good. I had a couple other lines that I thought of, but I didn't use them. I kind of went bigger picture. I love it. I'll just throw in one more. I love it when they're fighting in Toy Story under the car at the gas station, and he hits Buzz Lightyear a bunch of times. He goes, Buzz, Buzz, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. I was laughing out loud during that part when I rewatched it this week. So a lot of good ones.
Very good. I got number 5. Did I write down 6? No. Number 5, I got I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Which I learned recently.
The shark with the hat on the head?
Yeah. I learned recently, that's just one of my favorite lines. And I learned recently is stolen from, or, used from a Far Side comic in which somebody pretends to be a cowboy and says, I'm a cowboy. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Wow. Yeah. Nice pull.
Super crazy. Number 4, I got No Capes. Just
no capes. That's good.
Just that whole sequence.
I didn't think of that. That's good.
Number 3, I have Mrs. Nesbit.
I forgot about that.
And it also, because it happens in the scariest part of that movie, this actually speaks to one of my points about the whole adult thing. I think Toy Story does the whole adult thing the best. You are watching something, they toe the line of adult to child incredibly well.
They really do.
Because I don't know, something about me is how do kids watch any of the Sid sequence and not be terrified?
Yeah.
Which I was as a kid, I guess. But there's so many absolutely hilarious moments and great moments, when they all band together and mess with them. But it just balances so well. Number 2, I have the shark scene from Finding Nemo.
That's good.
I don't know if this is where I do my Finding Nemo thing, but that movie.
Save it.
Okay. And number 1, I have to put that thing back where it came from. So good. It's just always been one of my favorite drops ever.
That's kind of why I wanted you to go first, because I knew I was going to probably steal that from you.
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I wasn't ready.
That's okay.
I was just thinking that I had just done one first, but you're right. You
did, but then I went into
talking a lot, but
the
I like
non-Pixar,
so
I was talking a lot. So
I'm not paying attention.
All right, fair enough. Same. All right, well, let's take a quick break. Then we'll go through the deep dive. We got lots more to talk about, lots more lists to do. And so let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. All right, coming back. The Pixar sort of brain trust genesis happened in 1974. It's pretty interesting, but I don't really want to go into it and go over all the steps. So we're just, if you want to look it up, check it out. It's all on Wikipedia. The actual Pixar computer, the physical Pixar computer, was used by Disney the first time for a little movie called Rescuers Down Under, which is a total banger. I love that movie.
I love that movie too. Wait, what? What are you saying?
So they had a hard computer, the Pixar computer, that was supposed to. Disney wanted a way to be more efficient with their computer, with their animation. So rather than drawing everything physically for every frame, they were able to layer things and do it like that. And they used the Pixar, or I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well, but the Pixar computer that they sort of sold, that was now I have to go into a little bit of history. The Pixar started in 1974, like I said, lots of permutations. It wasn't called Pixar yet, and it was losing money. So eventually they thought, well, we should be selling this computer. And so they sold it to Disney, or at least allowed Disney to use it. And then they used it to make a bunch of things. But Rescuers Down There was the first full-length movie that it was used on. And
Sick.
I fucking love that movie.
Me too.
So
Joanna!
good. In 1991, Pixar was still losing a bunch of money. In the mid-'80s, it was purchased by none other than Steve Jobs. So he was a big catalyst for its eventual success, I guess you could say. And in 1991, they made the big Disney deal, a 3-picture deal. Their first movie was, of course, Toy Story. Had a $30 million budget, made $373 million worldwide. That's a good investment.
That's a big one.
That's a good one. And then from there on, we're off. And then it got nominated for Best Original Screenplay. We talked about that. Best Original Musical or Comedy Score. I didn't know that at one point was separated from
thing.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't know that I was watching the Oscars that intently back then, back when the Oscars were great. I just didn't remember that. Pocahontas won, and it also got it nominated for Best Original Song, and Pocahontas won for that with Colors of the Wind, which is great, but I don't know that one lives up quite as well.
Right. Took a while for Randy Newman to get the win.
Yeah, he got nominated a bunch of times. Maybe one of them. I feel like when he did win, and I don't remember what he won for, that he was like the most nominated person that had never won. I could be wrong about that. It won the Special Achievement Award, which is not given out all the time. It's not given out annually, only when the Academy feels that it's worthy of it.
I think it was like the 25th time or something.
Yeah.
Or like
a lot of
I don't know if it's happened since.
I looked it up. I think it has, but I couldn't. I should put it in my notes, but I forgot to put that in my notes. But I think it has been won since.
They gave it to John Lasseter.
Well, yeah. Do you want to talk about that? I guess we should mention it.
We should definitely talk about that.
Go for it.
He just got shut down with lawsuits that he was a creep, big time creep. Yeah.
Physically and verbally.
Yep.
They eventually had to distance themselves from him, and rightfully
100%,
so.
Yeah. He's out.
That's sort of like yeah, you're right. I'm glad we mentioned it, because if we didn't.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up.
Yeah, he's big time creepo, and it's kind of a black mark on the genesis of.
Because we haven't said he was a producer and director and writer for a lot of the.
Yeah, he was one of the
top guys. I mean, even the ones that he didn't have a lot of his fingers in, he was a producer of.
And I think he was, if not the only, certainly a co-director on Toy Story. So he was.
Yeah, he was the director.
He was the big one for the first one. So yeah, bad job by him, and eventually I guess they did the right thing and separated themselves. But that's not a fun thing to talk about, and that sucks. But anyway, all right. From 1995 to the president. Did I say president? From 1995 to the present. Here's the filmography. I'm just going to blow right through it, and you can take it wherever you want. Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2.
Okay, I'll stop you right there.
Okay.
Crazy that they did Toy Story 2 as the third. That
I didn't remember
me.
that.
I didn't remember that either.
Yeah,
looking
I thought
back,
it was
that
like
was one of the
longer.
big surprises for me.
Yeah. And I wonder if like it's easier to do if they already have all those characters sort of built in the computer, and you can just like quickly do a story. Because I imagine like with A Bug's Life, their fourth movie, Monsters Inc., like you got to render all those things from scratch. I don't know how that. I mean, I'm not a computer.
It also kind of makes
designer.
me feel better as far as all the sequels things a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like right off the gate they were doing sequels, so it's not like they were really breaking the mold too much. But
not a lot of sequels from there on out until. So here we go: Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc. number 4, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up, Toy Story 3, Cars 2. Now we're getting more. Brave, Monsters University, another sequel. Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory, another sequel.
The Good Dinosaur was way earlier. That one surprised me as well.
That's because it's forgettable.
Yeah.
Cars 3, Coco, Incredibles 2. Now it's like all sequels. Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, technically kind of a sequel, Elemental, and Inside Out 2. Prequel? Well, it's actually
That's
like a
not really.
subset,
Yeah.
but it's in the same unit. Well, kind of. It's certainly a Toy Story property. Yeah, take it wherever you want. Favorites, non-favorites. I mean, I guess we can't really give our favorites yet. Anything stand out from you from this filmography?
That I haven't seen a whole lot of the new ones.
Yeah.
There's probably, well, I haven't seen any of the Cars sequels.
Those are the only two I have not seen. Well, I've seen Cars 2, I think. I've seen one of the Cars sequels. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of the newer ones. I still haven't seen Inside Out 2.
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah. Haven't seen Soul or Elemental. Those are probably the three that, and Onward. Those are the four that I should have seen that I haven't.
Yeah. Well, again, we talked about it. I have kids. They want to watch all these movies. They're on Disney Plus. It's hard to avoid.
Also, when, like you're in my position and nobody's like freaking out about any of them, it's hard.
It's hard to make
it's
a
hard to, like,
extra trip
really
to the
think that I
theater
need to go see it.
Right. Right.
Because I would know if I needed to see one, essentially.
Do you feel like, we kind of touched on this, but do you feel like you gravitate towards the ones from your childhood? And is that because they're better or because we were younger?
Hell yeah, they're better.
Yeah, I think they are too. A lot of different reoccurring themes. Themes of identity pop up in Toy Story, Incredibles, Ratatouille, Cars, people figuring themselves out.
Yeah.
Themes of family, of belonging, in Brave, Coco, Inside Out, Elemental. Any other main reoccurring themes that you want to hit?
Wonder.
Yeah.
Seeing the world through other people's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And just definitely being able to be transported into a whole different universe is certainly a reoccurring, at least meta theme.
Community, but that's kind of like family.
Yeah. It does sort of seem like there's kind of a through line, at least emotionally, if nothing else, with all these movies. I mean, they're made by the same studio, they're made by the same brain trust, but do you think, I'm leading the witness here, do you think there's actually a through line through all these stories? And Jack, would you like to talk about the Pixar theory?
I would, and I wish I had more extensive notes, but I think I'm just going to kind of wing it.
Go for it.
I don't obviously think that there is an intended through line other than, I mean, there's obviously Easter eggs. Easter eggs is one of the best things about Pixar, is finding not only Pixar Easter eggs, but there's a
Disney
lot of
Easter eggs,
film Easter eggs, just a lot of things in general. And so it does link the world somewhat, like seeing the I think a big one is the Pizza Port car. It shows up multiple times.
Yep.
You get Toy Story toys in other movies.
Yep.
But
there's some Finding Nemo fish in other movies.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Nice.
I think I saw that.
But yes, fans have obviously done their work and linked all of them to one grand story. There are multiple sites in which people outline every single film and put them all in order.
Like a Pixar wiki or something? No.
Well, more about the Pixar universe. It's called the Pixar universe theory.
Oh, yeah.
And you could just look up the timeline. And I think people have variations. I don't know if they're all exact because it's kind of abstract at a certain point.
People are definitely moving the goalposts to sort of
make
the theory work.
But the big points of it are starting with the good dinosaur. The comet doesn't hit Earth. So that immediately changes things. I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, so I couldn't really speak too much on it.
I haven't. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the concept of the movies. I remember that from the trailer, is that you have all these dinosaurs and then you see the comet fly by Earth.
It's forgettable.
Yeah. And then going into Brave being kind of the next oldest in the timeline that you might think.
Right.
And is oldest in this timeline as well. In which magic shows up.
Right.
So once magic shows up, then animals start to be able to talk.
Right.
Inanimate things start to be able to talk.
Right.
I think in the timeline, Incredibles happens actually next, and is like people have superpowers.
Sure.
Then inanimate objects have superpowers. And then like Finding Nemo is the next big point in which fish can talk. I do think it's interesting that in Finding Nemo and Ratatouille, animals can read.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little more abstract, in
Right.
which only Dory, like it's a thing that,
Dory can read.
Dory can read. And that other fish cannot, but they know the concept of reading. Also, I want to stop here and say there's a really impressive, like, how do I say this? It's really impressive, like how crazy concepts can be in Pixar movies, but still work, like Ratatouille, and like where he's pulling on hair.
Yeah.
But they send it, and it fucking works, and they sell it, and you're just like, it's crazy that this is happening right now, and kind of with Finding Nemo too. I mean, a lot of it happens in there, but it works.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of where this theory also works, is because it's like, man, that's pretty crazy conceptually, and just like, even more than an animated picture, because it's so geared towards adults as well, that you're like expecting it to make more sense, but it kind of, you could really nitpick certain things and like be like,
oh, yes.
well, yeah, but like you don't, because they're so entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where this is fun, because it's like, oh, it's magic, And all right, so from there we get to eventually this leads to like the Cars thing. I don't know if Wall-E happens. I don't think.
Yeah, Wall-E would have happened first, because then the world ends and there's no more people. People leave.
No, but I think Cars happens in between. I think Cars is the world in which people don't live, and Cars become anthropomorphic and can talk and everything, but it's still living in the world of humans. And then the Cars die or something, and then it's Wall-E, and then the humans come back. Because that's how Wall-E ends, is humans come back to Earth.
Right, there's probably some timeline shifting there.
Yeah, and then there's a whole thing with the doors of Monsters Inc.
I watched a little bit of that on a YouTube.
I've missed that one.
So the witch in the
beginning, Sully is on the wall in Brave.
Right. Oh, okay.
So they're time traveling essentially. He's like on, like drawn on like cave paintings.
Oh, right. Okay.
Solely from Monsters Inc.
Well, the idea was that the Monsters Inc. takes place sometime in the future, maybe after Wall-E, when like, nuclear fallout has happened and it's created monsters.
Right.
And they're using the doors to get energy, and not going into a different dimension, but going into the past where humans have lived on Earth.
Yes.
And that the little girl, Boo?
Yes. Boo.
The little girl is now, so she grows up having seen all this and is now looking for Sully throughout the rest of her life, and time travels because she can figure out the door thing. And that's how she gets stuck in the past in Brave, as now she's the older witch in Brave. And in Brave, she like goes through a door and then is gone,
Right.
And like the room is different.
Yeah.
So they're somehow connecting that.
Yeah.
We didn't do a very good job with that. But
No, I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. Fine.
I forgot about how big Brave is in this
big
concept.
Theory. Yeah.
Brave and Cars are like, and I guess Monsters Inc., now that we're talking about this, are kind of like the big ones. That,
and it's all up on YouTube. People have really dissected it, and it's kind of fun. So, but we, got to mention the Pixar theory.
Oh yeah, love it. I mean, that's the sort of thing
we sign up for.
Yeah.
All right.
Apologies, I wasn't completely more prepared for that.
No, that's good. You did great, Jack.
Yeah. Thank you.
So characters I got next. I don't know how you want to do this. I made different lists. I made a lead characters, a duo characters, and a side characters list, but I think you did it a little bit differently. So I think you should take the lead on at least the first.
I skipped the duos because I started doing the duos, and then I was like, this is just kind of like obvious. These are just like the main duos.
All right. Well, okay, here's what we're going to do then. I'm going to give my duos list real quick. I don't need to talk about it. And then because I think you got some hot takes.
Because I chose from the
You
duos.
chose from the duos. So let's do that. And then you can take that. And then we'll go into side characters. All right. I got Ian and Barley Lightfoot from Onward. Pretty funny. I got Sully and Mike from Monsters, Inc. Marlon and Dory from Finding Nemo. Well, both. Carl and Russell from Up, I guess. And Buzz and Woody. A clear number one on the duos for Toy Story.
Yeah.
So why don't you take the lead on lead
So
characters?
mine are mixed. So I realized the singles one, like the lead characters one, I was like, I don't know what to choose from here necessarily. But I like my top 5. So
right.
I did a mix of.
I'll hit
choosing
any
from
that you
duos.
missed.
Okay. Number 5, I did Merida.
That was my number 5 as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's great. She's also the first female lead, I believe, from any of them. Is
that right?
Lead.
Lead.
Like no duo.
Right.
And she's also the first, if only, Pixar princess.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's also just badass and
Sick.
great and
archery
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fights bears.
Super cool. Number 4, I've got Wally.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my number 3.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
And those are my only 2
That aren't duos.
that aren't duos.
Okay.
Special shout out to Joy. She made my long list.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was like I thought about that. I didn't know if that was like a lead. I guess it is a lead, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree. She would. I struggled with her.
Number 3, I've got Dory. Definitely choosing Dory over Marlin.
Wow.
Marlin.
Oh, here are the hot takes.
Marlin
Kind of
would go in my
kind of a pill.
recast.
Oh no!
I know.
Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks, I know. And he makes the role. I don't know how much of it is him and how much of it is writing. But, there are a couple of Pixar characters I'm like,
You could have done better than this.
you had the whole world to choose from. How do we land on Albert Brooks? Honestly, there's probably a history there or like a reason why. But, not my favorite. But
Yeah,
it's also just Marlon, the character in general. He's a fucking
He's
pill.
a tool.
Um,
Albert Brooks, big hole in my movie resume.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen him in movies. I haven't seen any of not many of his movies.
Yeah, I guess I haven't either.
There's a hole in my resume. That's a different podcast.
Number 2, I've got Mike Wazowski.
Nice.
Yes. I just think Billy
Put that
Crystal
thing back where you came from.
put that thing back where he came from. Man. He's just absolutely hilarious. He kills it. He's perfect for that, for who he is.
Do you know why I got that role?
I did, and I don't remember, but I know that there's a thing.
I think he was offered Woody and turned it down.
That's what it is. And he said
Didn't
it was
think
the biggest regret
Yeah.
of his entire career.
And so they offered him Mike Wazowski. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good job. Not as good as Woody.
Nope. Number 1, I got Woody. I definitely go Woody over Buzz.
I do
Just like
too.
we established. And he's also classically the main character. I mean, if this was a work of literature, he would be, it's his story.
It is. More so than Buzz's.
Yes.
They obviously both have character arcs, but
Yeah.
it starts with Woody, it ends with Woody.
Yeah.
It's Tom Hanks, man.
Tom Hanks. One
All
of
right.
the greatest voice performances ever, in my opinion.
I love
I
it.
don't think he overdoes it.
I don't either. I think it's hilarious.
Me too.
Um,
Speaking of this, he did his work later while he was filming some 2 movies, but not while he was filming Philadelphia, because he didn't want to do dramatic work while he was doing comedic work. So he
Oh.
he filmed his stuff after everybody.
Oh. Well, sandwiching Philadelphia was, I think,
Oh, it was
A League of Their Own.
No,
and
it was
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. He didn't want to do it while doing Philadelphia and Forrest Gump, so
Oh.
he did it while doing League of Their Own and
That's crazy. That was like 3 years before, but that kind of goes into what we were talking about about
Maybe
how
it wasn't League of Their Own.
well, those are the movies.
Or his next movie.
I don't think he was
that
doing.
was before though.
I mean, it could have been.
So maybe he did it early.
Well, but that goes into what we were talking about how long these movies they take to make.
True.
So he probably did. All right, what do you want to do for side characters? Just give our list.
All right, let's do top 5 side characters.
Okay, we'll just get right into it. You go first. Do you have it?
Yeah, I was surprised, but I thought that my list was going to be small characters and funny roles, and it didn't really end up. Well, I mean, they're all funny, but it kind of ended up being more important. And I was like, oh, I got to give kind of props to people.
Oh, that's good because I did small characters and funny roles.
Okay, cool. Well, number 5, I got Frozone.
Yeah,
Love him. Great performance.
Fantastic.
Great. I mean, Sam L. sends it.
I should say you're probably going to be right about this, and I chose funny side characters.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, because I almost made 2 lists.
Yeah,
but
you're probably doing it the correct way.
we'll see. Number 5, I got Frozone. Number 4, I got Crush. Could definitely see him higher on this list, but he kind of just turned out this way. Love Crush. Absolutely hilarious. It's Brad Bird, the director of the film.
Right.
And his little whippersnapper, what's his name? What's the little kid's name? Is also absolutely
Squirt.
hilarious. Do you have your exit, buddy?
Okay, so it's Andrew Stanton is the director of. I didn't think Brad Bird did Finding Nemo.
Oh, and Andrew Stanton is Crush?
I'm pretty sure the director did the voice for Crush. Yes,
Okay.
Andrew Stanton.
Yikes.
No, that's okay. I knew the director did it, and Brad Bird has done a lot of Pixar, but when I looked up which movies he directed, I didn't remember Finding Nemo, so I just wanted to.
Damn.
We're gonna get aggregated if we don't get that right.
I dropped that one.
It's okay.
My bad, everybody.
Andrew Stanton.
I got it conceptually right.
Yeah, right.
All right, number 4, Crush, not Brad Bird. Number 3, I got Slinky Dog.
Oh, nice.
He, in the whole through line of all 4 films, I feel like he gets like really fleshed. Like just in Toy Story alone, he's not like the funniest of any of the toys for sure. But then emotionally, he just like comes around every time.
He's also the homie for Woody.
He's the homie. Yeah. Number 2, I've got Anton Ego.
He's just sick.
Yes. I mean, obviously one of my favorite Pixar moments is his revelation at the end. Him being, he's not a villain. I could see him on
That
the
was my
villain.
number 1 food moment for the food episode.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Food moment.
I think.
Nice.
I can't remember now, but I'm
Is
pretty
that
sure
how
it
you did food films as your big 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was also my number 1 food film for the record.
Nice. As it should be. Number 1, I got Gil. From Finding Nemo.
Gil.
Willem Dafoe, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like prime I think it's like right after Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And, he's just kind of like
Britton
came
checks.
back in. Yeah, Britton check. Just great performance. Great, just like scary. Or it's like a Western character. It's kind of like intimidating guy who's a good guy and you love to have on your side.
Awesome. So, all right, here we go. I'll do my list now. Different. I don't think we have any repeats.
Nice.
I got Mo from Wall-E.
Nice.
Mo. Makes me laugh. I got Roz from Monsters Inc. That's the Wazowski.
Nice. I was thinking about that.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I got Guido from Cars.
Nice.
He's my guy.
Yeah.
With the pit stop.
Oh, I just realized someone I forgot. Continue.
I got
Guido's
Mr. Potato Head.
Nice.
We've mentioned it before. I love everything he says. And I have Edna Mode.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That was a big
fantastic.
one I missed too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Jacques.
Oh, yeah.
Suivez-moi. Follow me. Oh, that should be my top 5 funniest moments too.
You always would say
I
that.
would always say suivez. We were watching with Alex. I was watching it with my fiance.
Suivez-moi.
And I was just like, I literally said this line like a billion times.
Oh,
After
fiance, your recent fiance. That's
I know.
nice to hear.
It never came up. I got engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And to Alex.
I suppose I can do this now. Josh,
Huh?
would you like to be my best man?
Oh, my God. Yeah, of course I would. I'm honored.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was kind of going to do that last time, and usually you ask me anything new in your life, and it never really came up, or like, it just never came around.
Of course, I didn't ask you when there was something humongous and
right.
hugely
And I
new
didn't
in
think
your
about
life.
it until like hours later that day. But yeah,
Oh, of course I will. Thank you, Jack.
of
I'm
course.
honored.
Yeah,
I don't know how to segue into this.
I know.
That's great. All right. Well, the next thing I have on my list that has nothing to do with anything and is obviously, or actually kind of a little a weird thing, I have QT Corner.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So last week, I don't know if it was last week.
I think it was.
The past, like 3 or 4 of the past 5 or 6 weeks, I know, weird. We've incidentally and coincidentally mentioned Quentin Tarantino's thoughts on whatever topic we had. And we said we either have to stop it now or make it a semi-recurring theme.
Well, also, like Quentin Tarantino has all the takes and he watches all the movies, which I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of the other auteur directors do, but he's the one who's most vocal about it.
He's not holding them in the pistol, those takes.
You're right.
So I didn't know if he thought anything about Pixar, and I looked it up. Well, Jack, he does.
He does.
So here's our Quentin Tarantino corner for this week. He refuses to see Toy Story 4.
Mm-hmm.
Will not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Thought Toy Story 3 was one of his favorite movies of all time. His words, not mine.
Right.
And thought the trilogy was excellent.
I don't hate that take.
I guess. And he thought it was one of the best trilogies of all time. His favorite is the Dollars trilogy, of course, by Sergio Leone. Not of course, but that's his favorite. And he thought each movie got better. I don't know what he thinks of Toy Story 2, but he thought Toy Story 3 is the best of the trilogy. So it one-upped everything from the trilogy and finished off perfectly, and refuses to see Toy Story 4.
Love it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. I liked Toy Story 4, but it
Oh
wasn't,
yeah, I did too. But Toy Story
but I
3 is
get
better.
it, and that's fine. All right, moving on. Pixar are known for their technical prowess. They meticulously, intentionally do all their design. Really good script. We talk about voiceover. Voiceover is wonderful. Voice acting, I should say, wonderful. Lots of big stars. And now I think we haven't done it yet. We have to shout out John Ratzenberger.
Oh yeah,
The good luck charm, as they
Right.
call him from Pixar. I think he was in every one up until he didn't show up in Soul.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He made it that long. Nice.
Made it that long. Wasn't in anything until Inside Out 2, because he did have a character in the first Inside Out.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
I guess we could have done top five John Ratzenberger characters.
We probably could. You want to do that on the fly? Let's save it.
You got Ham. I love him as John, the dude, the main human in Wall-E.
Yeah.
That's probably his biggest role. Well, I guess maybe not, maybe over Ham. No, but I mean, like, as far as the story goes,
Yeah.
he's like the main character other than Wall-E.
Love him as the abominable snowman
Yeah.
in Monsters, Inc.
So good. He is in Finding Nemo. He's the
fish.
School of Fish.
The School of Fish. That's a really good bit.
Super good bit.
Is that 5? Close enough. Another hallmark to Pixar movies is the music. They've always done great music. Not many musicals. Did you know?
Coco was the first one.
You did know then.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this when I was doing my research.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you go through them, but I just didn't realize that.
Are there others after it?
I don't know. Not that I can think of.
Well, I haven't. Those are the only ones I haven't seen, so you would be able to tell me.
Well, I guess I'll go back up
Elemental.
to Nope.
Onward.
Nope.
Uh,
Soul. Nope. Turning Red. Nope. No. So I guess that's the only one. That can't be right. I'm going against my own research. All right. Well, so here's the problem with the music situation. A lot of these movies, I mean, we've talked about a lot of our favorite movies, but this is going to pretty accurately represent my top 5 list. I got a couple in there that aren't on my top 5 list. I don't know how we want to. Do we want to do the music? Or do we want to just talk about the music as we get to it?
I mean, I feel like this list is. I feel like all my lists today have been clearly gearing towards. What
All
my
right, so
top
let's
5
just
are
do
gonna
it
be.
then.
My top 5. I essentially just did scores other than Coco, but I did 5 Toy Story.
Yep.
4 Incredibles.
5 Toy Story.
Yep. 5 Toy Story, 4 Incredibles, 3 Ratatouille, 2 Coco, mainly Remember Me and just the music and the songs in general. The score, I'm guessing, is good, but I'm thinking of the songs. And number one, Finding Nemo, 100%. There's no other answer than Finding Nemo being number one for music. And I know that's probably not going to be yours, but you're wrong. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It did not make my list.
That is insane. Thomas Newman's absolute... Holy crap. The drop in the beginning.
It's great.
The mic drop in the beginning.
I get it. I get it. I have a slight Thomas Newman take that I'm percolating.
They sound the same?
You hear one, you hear them all.
I disagree.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it's very good and it's very effective.
Say the same thing about John Williams then. Might as well.
No, actually. They're all different.
Well, you hear it and you're like, that's John Williams.
That is true. But you could say the same about Tom Newman, and that's because they all sound the
I
same.
know, but that isn't.
Anyway,
wow.
I do like Thomas Newman's
make your list. Are you telling me when Finding Nemo, the words come on the screen, you aren't weeping because of the music and / his wife just died?
Well, that didn't make my moments either, about tearjerker moments. I know. I got some takes. Maybe. And also,
it didn't make my tearjerker.
It would have been my number 6, and I tried to weasel another one in there, and I don't really feel good about it.
Just tell me.
Here's my number 5, Cars, because it's an actual soundtrack.
I hate this list already.
Sheryl Crow, Rascal Flatts, James Taylor. They're using actual music, and then the score is pretty good. Whatever.
I do fuck with the Sheryl Crow.
All right, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Number 4, I have Incredibles. Number 3, I have Brave.
Did Thomas Newman do Incredibles?
He did not. You know who did?
Who?
Michael Giacchino. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Also did Coco, which is my number 2. I'll circle back to Brave in a second. You know what more contemporary score he did on a movie that you at least really like and I love? The Batman.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
nice.
My guy. So Michael Giacchino got a place at our dinner table if you want
Incredibles made my list.
It's great. I love it's wonderful. And it's different too. So Incredibles, I have Brave, Patrick Doyle, really good, just like kind of Celtic music. That usually gets me.
I almost bumped something.
Yeah. I get it. Coco, we talked about. The songs too are great. I don't think Michael Giacchino did the songs, but the songs are great. And then I had Toy Story number 1 with You Got a Friend in Me, and the music just really good. I get it. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me.
I'm not mad.
Nobi Lolo.
Nobi Lolo.
All right, Jack. What's next for Pixar? So you mentioned a couple of things. I have the actual next 5 movies. Is that 5?
Next 5?
Yeah, they got 5 on the list. And then they have one that's untitled, so I didn't put that on the list. Something called Elio. I think they're starting to come out with trailers for that. Hoppers. Don't know what it is. Toy Story 5.
Does it have to do with Hopper?
I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, we get a fucking...
So maybe that's a sequel too.
Bugs Life prequel or sequel?
30 years later.
He dies in Bugs Life, so it can't be a sequel.
Right. So I don't know if that has anything to do with that. And then Toy Story 5, Coco 2, and Incredibles 3. Possibly 4 of those are sequels / prequels. I don't know about Hoppers. I guess
What's
we could look
Untitled?
it up. It's Untitled. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Okay, well, so there's just a movie being made by Pixar that we don't know what it is.
Correct.
By Untitled, I thought you meant we got a kind of concept, but it's Untitled.
Well, I didn't look it up because I just looked up what are the next 5 Pixar
That's
movies or next Pixar movies slated, and they have an untitled one. I could look it up right now.
I mean, they got 100 Untitled movies coming out.
I guess that's
they're
true. But that one is actually, there was an actual plan. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll go into our big top 5s and smash this out. See you in a minute. All right, we're back. We're going to jump right into it. So we got 3 more top 5s left. We can probably plow right through a couple of these. First I got is top 5 Pixar villains. Excuse me. Top 5 Pixar villains. Who wants to start?
I'll go.
Go.
Well, I'll just do my list. I was thinking of combining 2 because I got 2 from one movie, but I'm just going to do it.
No, that's fine.
Number 5, I've got Henry J. Waterloo III from Monsters, Inc. who is the secret villain that you don't know is going to be a
Right.
villain, and then he ends up being super scary
Yeah.
and despicable, and you're like, damn, I didn't see
Right.
this coming.
Ooh, I didn't put that on my list. That's a good one.
Number 4, I've got Randall.
Randall, yeah.
Randall is terrifying and a great villain.
Great scary monster. I don't know how he's not like the scary monster for every kid.
True. Well, I mean, that's the concept. What do you mean?
Well, like, because each kid has their scary monster that they like, the
Right.
ideal scary monster.
Right.
But
Yeah,
most of them look goofy.
Yeah, I know. Right. He's the only
He's
one that's
terrifying.
like actually scary.
Disappears.
I don't want him.
He moves fast.
Yeah. Then again, we don't see a whole lot of when they're inside and doing the things that they do to be scary.
I guess that's true.
Number 3, I've got Syndrome.
Yeah.
Punk. Hate him. Super annoying. Even more than just being like a scary villain. You just like want to.
What's
Jason Lee?
Jason Lee.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, not Stan Lee.
Where
not
did he go?
Christopher Lee. I don't know. Well, he took that Incredibles money and bounced.
He was done. He was
Yeah.
like, that's it. Number 2, I've got Lotso.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, I've got Ernesto de la Cruz.
Oh yeah. Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hate
I
it.
didn't-
He's
he's a jerk.
super evil. He
Evil.
kills the
Literally
dude.
kills his
Yeah.
friend
Yes.
for his vanity and his hubris.
Man. And that's another drop that you don't see coming. They got a lot of good surprise villains,
Yeah.
like, twists.
I'm into it because,
me too.
fairly straightforward, a lot of them. All right. I got number 5, Hopper. Pretty
True.
good.
Yeah. He should have made my list.
Number
Super
4, I have Lotso. That was clearly. Number 3, I have Charles F. Muntz from Up. He's the guy on the island. Pretty good. I have Stinky Pete from Toy Story 2.
Nice.
Kelsey
Oh,
Grammer.
man. Yeah, that's a good one, too. I don't like Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
It was just too dark. That came out. That makes sense. It was the third Pixar film out because that came out. I was too young and was just like, this is dark Pixar that I was not asking for.
I also felt I had to like intentionally sneak in some Toy Story 2 on my list because I knew you hated it and
Yeah.
it wasn't going to make your
Well,
list.
and sneaking it in with a villain works because I hate fucking Stinky Pete.
And number 1, I have Syndrome.
Nice. Oh,
Who's,
nice.
An asshole and also kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But all right, tear jerk moments. Here we go, Jack.
Another.
What do you
one.
got?
First of all, I want to say that I am usually just crying slowly throughout many Pixar movies, whether it be happy
Yeah.
or sad. It just, I will admit that I am not shy to get teared up.
Neither
during
am I.
movies at all, and they do a good job of making me tear up.
Of course.
Um,
I will also say, to piggyback on your theme, typically, I'm not a crier at sad
Yes.
moments. I'm a crier at uplifting moments.
yes.
So this list actually doesn't really reflect that too much. But if
Right.
we ever do something like this again, like I don't cry at the beginning of Up because it's not necessarily an uplifting moment. It's like a, heavy-handed sad moment. And those don't usually, throughout movie history, don't get me nearly as much as the uplifting moment.
Yeah. Well, with Up specifically, it's like sad because it's so happy.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
get it. We talked about it already.
Yeah, we did. We're not going to
rehash that.
again.
I'm going to get...
Fucking
Destroyed in the
Sheryl Crow,
comments.
number 5, Up.
Yeah, I didn't
it's
feel great about
Number 5, I got Monsters, Inc. Reuniting with Boo.
I had that on my list.
And her, what does she say? What does she call him?
Fluffy doggy
Doggy?
kitty.
Kitty.
Is that right? I don't
I
remember.
think so. Anyways,
like that.
It's fucking adorable.
It's great.
And it makes me cry.
Yeah.
Number 4, I've got Up intro.
See, I think like if you polled the general populace, this would be the number 1 draft spot for number 1. Up intro. I think if you
Yeah.
ask like what makes
Well,
you cry, most
no.
people, if you ask everybody,
Yeah.
like and then tallied it all up, I think Up would be number 1.
Except for maybe one other one.
That apparently will make your list.
That will be my number 1. Number 3, I've got Nemo reuniting with his dad.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay.
I got Nemo
I read that.
reuniting with his dad.
Okay.
I love and Pixar does this very well. We haven't talked about it yet. Pixar does montages extremely well.
Sure.
Especially flash montages, like the fast ones.
P. Sherman 42.
P. Sherman, or also the Anton Ego one.
Yeah.
Of him getting his childhood. I remember, like, going into it, I knew that I had to make this list. And was like...
I know what the number one is.
Hold on. God. I knew I was going to have to make this list, and I was like, is Nemo reuniting with his dad one of them? Because I can't really remember. And then it was. And it got me choked up. And I was like, okay, I guess it is. But my number 2 is Nemo hearing the story of his father.
Okay.
And that montage of getting the whole, hearing all the different people. I'm getting choked up right now. I'm not even done. Hearing the whole ocean telling the story, and then hearing Nigel.
Played by Jeffrey Rush.
Nice. Played by who?
Jeffrey Rush.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was someone else. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, and then Nigel telling Nemo, and Nemo, hearing about his dad. It's just so good. And number 1, I got fucking Remember Me, dude. I was just like, the first time I saw Coco, I was like literally crying for like a half hour, like towards like the end of that movie. It gets me good.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really good. It's a beautiful song.
That was my number 2.
Wow.
So
Hit me.
I got Andy Gives the Toys Away, and I think Toy Story 4. No, 3, when he gives the toys away to the little girl.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I got Bing Bong.
Bing Bong, that's a good, yeah.
Inside Out. Yep.
Also, should have maybe made my side characters list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know. Yeah, Bing Bong's rough.
Then I had Sully Meets Boo. We talked about it. Remember Me, gotta be on there. You're right. If it's not the Up intro, it's Remember Me. And I was looking at my list and be like, I wonder if I have it. I did, and it's great. And then, you nailed it, Jack. The number 1 was when talking about the hearing from
story?
Nigel. Yeah.
Nice.
That gets me every time. And it's the part where he's, and I hope I don't start crying, but it's the part where he's like, that he fought a shark. That couldn't be my dad. And he goes, what was his name? Some sort of game fish. Blah, 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 blah. Tuna? Marlin? That's it. Marlin. And he goes, he fought a shark. He goes, I heard he fought 3. And that, I lose it every single time. That's it.
So good.
Uplifting, Jack.
So
good. And it's
epic.
We have a really close relationship with our dad, and I now have kids. It's just, I can't make it.
Yeah.
If I watched it on YouTube right now, I'd weep.
Yeah. I I was like, what's the tear-jerking part of Finding Nemo going into? I was like, reuniting with his dad, and I didn't remember it until it started happening. I'm like, I was like, oh my God, we got the story.
That's it, man. That's the one that gets me. So that's cool. I'm glad we both have
nice.
that. It's almost like we're brothers.
Yeah. This happens.
Here we go.
Here we go.
The Big Banana. I'm a little worried that we're going to have the same list.
I don't think we are.
We might. Unless you did it wrong. That was a joke.
I'm pretty positive we swapped 2 out with each other.
Okay. Who wants to go first? I'll go first because you went first on the last 2.
Okay.
My number 5 Pixar movie is Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the one that... You think it's too low?
I'm positive it's too low.
I love Finding Nemo. It's also probably one of the ones that I've seen the most and maybe therefore have knocked it down. I don't know. It was also the one where if we got too drunk in college, we would throw on Finding Nemo for whoever got too drunk.
That's a good...
Just nice, calming movie. Lots of good colors.
You also don't remember seeing it with me for the first time in the theaters.
My bad.
That's fine.
Number 4, I have The Incredibles. Kind of just a sick action movie.
Yeah.
And I love it. Number 3, the newest one on my list, I have Coco.
Okay.
Really, really great. Also a kid's favorite.
Extremely good movie.
Seen it 900 times because
hilarious, great music.
Yeah.
Crying.
Really great
weeping.
Character work.
Yeah.
And
exploration of Mexican culture.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, don't got a lot of in movies or, animated film.
Happy
films.
they did that.
Yep.
And the songs are great. Number 2, this is the There's a slight gap between my number 3 and number 2, and a very paper thin gap between my number 2 and my number 1. So I
mean, I already know what they are.
Right. I know you do.
Okay.
I wrestled with the fact of which one would go first. Number 2, I have Ratatouille.
Okay.
Just a fantastic movie. 5-star masterpiece. I love it every time I watch it.
Is there a lull?
No. Where's the lull?
Kind of between like the second act and the third act somewhere.
I guess you could say that.
Gets a little like maybe with the romance. Gets a little stale.
All right, I get that. I'm also not the biggest Patton Oswalt as a voice actor.
That's another one of my recasts. I never got into my recasts.
Well, let's finish it up with a little palate cleanser. Yeah, I get that. It's still, even despite those things, I just can't get enough of that. And I mean, you know this too. It's one of my wife's favorite movies. Yeah. And so I've seen it a bunch of times.
I love it.
No.
And I also get choked up. I didn't know where to put this on the list, but like in the beginning, anytime like food is going on in the beginning and he's like looking at the TV, watching homie cook or anything, I'm just like kind of getting choked up. I'm just like, oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, I get a little, I don't want to say choked up, but I really like the part where how can we represent the name of Gusteau if we don't honor his most cherished belief? What's that? Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook.
And it's like, damn.
Ooh, she's good as a supporting character.
She is good.
She should be
Colette.
on the list. Yeah, I love
She's
her.
good.
There's
so many.
Also, the moment we didn't talk about it, but the moment where he lets him out right next to the Seine, and he scurries away, and then he turns around and the most amazing piece of music you've ever heard it just like comes out, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. I intentionally kept the Ratatouille off my music list because
you wanted to make a wrong list.
I just like, I didn't want it to be the exact same 5 movies. Anyway, and number 1, I have Toy Story.
Yeah,
it's the best. It still is the best. I love it. I watched it. It was one of the few I revisited this week because I was like, what do I put first, Ratatouille or Toy Story? And I was just laughing the entire time. And it's tight. It's short. It's great. I love it.
It's great. Hour 20.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's just wonderful.
Anymore.
Game-changing, wonderful movie. All right, hit me with your list.
All right. Number 5, I've got WALL-E.
Wow.
That's right.
I think it's not a hot take.
It isn't a hot take, and
people love WALL-E.
It has gotten better with age. I don't think I loved WALL-E when it came out. I remember liking the beginning and then being like, oh, whatever.
That's where I'm at.
The beginning is so incredible, and nothing like it ever
really
happened.
is.
And I remember there was a lot of hype for it also. And I think a lot of the hype did the injustice of the end, or whatever I'm trying to say. Like, I think the hype didn't match where it turned. But now that I'm completely over that, I'm like,
peace with it.
Well, it's kind of like, it's got to, like I said before, it's got to turn into a Pixar movie eventually. I mean, like, the beginning of it is so not Pixar, or so not, I shouldn't say not Pixar because it is Pixar and that's what makes it great, but so not a traditional kids movie. You don't have talking for the first 30 minutes of the movie. It's awesome. And it got nominated for Best Screenplay.
Well, that's always good in a screenplay when you can just tell a story without the dialogue.
Yeah. And it's funny that all these little moments, it holds up really well. I love it.
All right, I'll read
good piece of cinema.
I do really like WALL-E. I shouldn't make it seem like I don't, but a lot of people, including you, put it in the vaulted top tier, and it isn't that for me because the second half just like totally falls off.
It doesn't totally fall.
For me it does, but I haven't.
You
To
got
your point, I haven't watched it.
Like, you got all the little BMO dude, like you got all the
Mo,
and you got all the scurrying around the whole ship, and it's great.
Once people start talking, I'm like, I'm not as into this.
It's homie. What's his name? John
Ratzenberger.
Number 4, I've got Ratatouille.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say it would be higher if not for that little lull I was talking about. Love Ratatouille, but the top 5 is going to be the top 5.
Yeah.
Number 4, I got Ratatouille. Number 3, I've got Toy Story. Toy Story 3 made my... Yeah, Toy Story is 3. And what I'm saying is Toy Story 3 would probably be my number 6. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
shout that.
Toy Story
I
3 is
almost
really good.
just swapped the two. I know I
Yeah.
needed a Toy Story, but Toy Story 1 is obviously just iconic, and you just need to put it in there. And
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's tight. It's
Yeah.
just exactly what it needs to be. Number 3, Toy Story. Number 2, I've got Coco.
Yep.
Movie hit me hard when I first saw it, and I was just like, I kind of didn't see it coming, and I was just
Same.
like, it was extremely satisfying. Feel like it was the first Pixar movie in a long time that I was like really, really into.
Yeah. Damn, we did it.
Yeah, we're back. And number 1, of course, Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
It's one of my favorite. It would probably be the only one to make my top 25.
Whoa! Don't blow the podcast.
I'm saying, man, it's going to be on there. Might make my top 10.
Wow.
It probably is my number 1 animated film of all time. There is, and I didn't actually do the work here, but I'm pretty confident that there is not an entire 2 minutes that go by without a joke. There are jokes in the saddest moments, in the quickest, and they're just constantly thrown. It's so funny. It's so well written with just like everything. Like they're just constantly making jokes. It might be in my top 5 favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah.
It's probably the funniest of them because it's just like, damn, one thing after another. It's great.
Yeah. One battle after another? Sorry, weird segue. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I just feel like I've almost seen it too many times because I used to watch it so much in college.
I hadn't seen it in a while, and watching it again this week was really satisfying.
Well, that was one I was like, that was my number 5, and I was like, do I like Monsters, Inc. better? Do I like Toy Story 3 better? Do I like WALL-E better? So I rewatched Finding Nemo, and I don't. It's great. I put it on my list. I got it. We got there. Damn. It's great. Not bad. Do we have all the 5 of the same movies?
No, Incredibles, and I knew that was going to be on your top 5, and I knew that WALL-E was going to be on my top.
Right.
So I was confident that we were going to have that off. That's what I was referring to.
Real different.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the planned top 5 lists. Did you have anything that you wanted to get off your chest in the form of another top 5 list? Because you've been hinting at a couple that we wanted to.
I just got some takes. I honestly don't know if I would be able to round it out with 5, but
Give me your takes.
But my takes are Remy,
Okay.
Marlon.
Okay. This is good. Can you come up with 5 people we can recast, and let's recast it?
Well, I'm just more saying of the characters I would recast. Mrs. Incredible.
Wow.
I
don't
know.
if I agree with that.
I don't like it.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. She's kind of doesn't really work for me, especially in the second one. That's another take of mine, is that Incredibles 2 is horrible. And okay, let's touch on this. I wanted to go here. Josh checks at me that I've seen it 75 times because it was James's movie for a while.
James is my son.
James is his son. And literally my first thought was, man, James has got a pretty good head on his shoulder with movies. The guy, I don't know if I agree with his take there. I was a little disappointed. I was like, James, I kind of thought you had more in you, bud.
He was 4. It was Incredibles
4.
movie.
He was pretty young at the time when it came out. I'll give him that, but I was.
I don't even know if he was 4 when it came out, but like when he was, that was his movie.
Yeah. No.
I like Incredibles too. I'm not mad at it. Not more than Incredibles.
I don't know if I can think of another.
All right, well, who would you cast for Remy? Or Marlon?
I don't know. I'm not good with voice actors in casting because I feel like I'm always pleasantly surprised. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got anybody?
No, I hadn't really thought about it. You're hitting me with this now. For Marlon, certainly needed a little bit of an older voice.
Yeah.
And one that can get angry.
Yeah, and someone who's like
spastic.
I mean, I think Woody Allen. Obviously,
This
not.
is exactly who I thought of.
Obviously, who's someone who's like a Woody Allen contemporary?
Yeah, we don't really want to cast Woody Allen in Disney movies right now.
Although he's fucking Ants.
Was he?
Yeah, he's the main character in Ants.
Oh, Ants. I was thinking Bug's Life. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Ants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Ants.
Yeah, we also never really talked on how Ants and what was the other fish one that they came out with during
Shark's Tail?
Shark's Tail, all coming out at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Well, we didn't really workshop this too well.
Sorry, people. Tell us your takes.
All right. We'll probably, if we ever do that, we'll save it for another podcast because this podcast is getting a little bit long anyway. But I agree that Remy.
Oh, and Linguini. Linguini I'd recast.
Oh, no. I like that guy.
Yeah. Is it with all of them
He's
as
in
it's
Incredibles
happening?
too as the teacher. Those two are Brad Bird movies, and so he might be a Brad Bird guy.
As it's happening, and once you get in, I'm not thinking about it any longer. But I just remember, especially with like Remy and Marlon, I'm like, we couldn't get anybody else for this.
Right. A bigger star.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. Patton Oswalt. I could get rid of that.
Yeah.
Him. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. It's the Pixar podcast. We may revisit it again, although I think we covered a lot of the stuff we wanted to hit.
Yeah.
A lot of
Pretty
top fives in
succinct.
this one. So I think we're probably going to try to do that a little bit more often.
Yeah.
More top fives, maybe less on of a historic breakdown, unless we're doing like a filmmaker or an actor where we kind of have to go through their career a little bit. Right after this, we're going to the movies.
Yep.
We're going to see the new Soderbergh movie. Well, that's the front runner. The new Soderbergh movie, Black Bag. Excited. Heard it was good.
Yep. It's getting great reviews.
Yeah. I want to see it. So,
Ooh, do we get a trailer for One Battle After Another in it?
I don't know. Well, we saw
When
that
did it
trailer
come
too.
out?
That looks good,
Yeah,
Jack.
it does look pretty good.
I don't know much about it, but I'm intrigued.
It's an interesting trailer. Not because, well, it doesn't tell us much, which is good, but
I
it
love
also
that.
doesn't like, I don't know. I could see somebody watching this trailer and being like, I'm not excited for this movie. Where,
I wonder because like it's tough for me to separate the fact that I know it's a Leonardo DiCaprio, Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't even need a trailer.
no, not at all.
But they do have to get some people to go to the movie.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But it was wild. There were guns. There were cool.
Funny. We're already laughing.
It was hilarious. There was some big wide shots of landscapes. Looked great.
Yep.
I mean, whatever.
Crime in Northern California.
That's what I'm in.
Yeah.
You've already had my money. I don't want to see another trailer.
Yeah.
So,
Where's the Pixar film?
what Pixar film?
Crime in Northern California and guns
I
and
know.
stuff. Come on.
Jeez, get on it, Pixar. We want to see a violent Pixar movie.
Disney, what is it called? The
Plus,
Disney Plus got all the movies on it now. We're
Yeah.
getting all the memes now that are like,
yeah,
oh, my kids are accidentally watching,
Logan
yeah,
or
right.
there was
Social Network.
yeah.
I don't know.
There was another one that it was like some kid's life is about to get really, really weird. I
Right.
forget what the movie
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but it was something kind of creepy like that. Yeah. Anyway, nice sign off on our part. We don't have our specifics down. Anyway, thanks so much for listening.
Work in progress, people.
It's a work in progress. This has been Jack. I had fun.
I had fun too. It was a good one.
Let's do it again next week.
We shall.
Do we want to hint towards next week or save it? Because
Let's save it.
okay.
I think we're still in kind of the works of what it might be.
We're still in the gestation period of deciding what we're going to be talking about next week. So, Pixar is fun. Pixar is great. We're excited to see more movies. Thanks for listening. Give us your own top fives on all these lists. We want to hear what your top 5 Pixar movies are. See you in the next one.
Bye.